Hi everyone, this story happened a few weeks ago on the 6th of August. I am a 17-year-old female. My friend and I, let's call her M, she is 19. We're standing in an almost 3-mile line for a concert to see an artist we both loved at Fillmore. This took place in Detroit, Michigan around 7:30 p.m. Her and I were listening to the Let's Read podcast on my AirPods, when suddenly this creepy guy from off the street comes up to me. This was kind of off-putting to me because nobody had really done that to me before. I was wearing a blue short-haired wig. It looks like Langa's hair from the anime Skate the Infinity, if you've ever seen it. The wig is a major detail in this story. Before the creepy dude came over to us, he was trying to place a tiny American flag pin in this one guy's hand to get him to take it, and was also trying to touch a different guy around his abdomen area. This guy comes up to me and says,
"Oh, nice hair. Looks really groovy. Also, blue is my favorite color."
I tried to be polite and said something along the lines of, "Thank you, blue is my favorite color as well." Meanwhile, M was standing there next to me, shooting me the "this guy is putting off really bad vibes" look. The creepy guy then walks a few feet away. M and I breathe a sigh of relief as we see this. Our anxiety rose higher once we saw him coming back our way. M started to have a slight panic attack once she saw him. He stopped in front of me and walked so close to the point where he backed me against the wall, trapping me. He made direct eye contact and said,
"I want to touch it."
He raised a grubby hand towards the blue wig. Somehow, I came up with the courage and said, "I wouldn't touch my hair if I were you," in the most confident voice I could manage, even though I was shitting bricks the whole time. The creepy guy then puts his hands up as an "I surrender" type of action while smirking. He walked off again and never came back. Fast forward to the end of the concert. The time was about 10:35 p.m. Em and I walked out of the doors of the building, merch in hand. There were several lights around us and people, so of course we felt safe. I was in the middle of dialing my mom's number so she could pick us up when M shakes my arm and says, "Is that the creeper from the line earlier?" My head shot up, and there he was, in some sort of convertible on the road in front of us. We made eye contact, and he gave me the most sadistic smirk I think I've ever seen. Thankfully, his red light turned green, and he sped away out of sight. My mom picked us up a few moments later, and we left. So this is my first real creepy person encounter. It may not be the scariest story for those who are listening, but God, it sure was for me. So to the creep in the concert line, I hope we never meet again. If I do, next time I'll make sure to have some mace handy if you ever decide to invade my personal space once more. What you're about to hear occurred around 2017 in Rhode Island, although I doubt this was a localized event. About 4 years ago, I was home alone while my family was out at my sister's parent-teacher conference. I was a middle schooler at the time, so I felt very comfortable being left home alone. Around 7 p.m., we got a call to our landline. I didn't recognize the number, so I let it ring until it went to voicemail. My parents had told me never to pick up unknown numbers, and if anyone has something you need to hear, they'll leave a message. To my surprise, the machine says that they left a message. Out of curiosity, I played it. The voice was one of those generic robocall voices. I can best describe it as it was a calm, white, Midwestern, middle-aged man's voice. Interestingly, the voice did have some inflection. which led me to believe that it could have just been poorly acted. But it just seems so monotone, otherwise I couldn't imagine it coming from anyone but a speech synthesis application, or maybe a voice actor? It's been a while, but the message etched itself into my memory. It went something like this.
Hi, this is John. Your mom told me that you had found my dog, Captain Sparkles. I'm so relieved to hear he's okay.
At this point, I skipped the message. It didn't sit well with me, and the fact that I was home alone at this time made me feel a bit uneasy too. At that age, the mind tends to wander. I told my mom about it, and she confirmed that she'd never found a dog. I asked some of my friends if they'd heard of a similar issue before, but they didn't know about anything. My dad gave me the most likely, but also most disturbing theory. For those unaware, your name and phone number are available online, similar to the Yellow Pages. More alarmingly, there are plenty of sites that will tell any interested viewer your name, phone number, address, age, and relatives, including children. Any old chump can figure out that Joe Smith has 3 kids who live at 123 Street Road, Anytown, USA, and of course, the number for Joe's landline. My dad posited that some creeps are using these directories to find out who has kids and what ages they are. For my sister and I, 11 and 15 respectively. These creeps send out robocalls to the numbers asking kids to let them know when their parents will be home. Or just ask the kid to step out and talk to them, things of that nature. I wish I'd held on to the recording, at least that way I could have heard the rest of what the voice said. Anyways, I want to know if anyone else has heard this message, and better yet, if you've heard the message all the way through. Where I live, certain schools like the one I attend have 2 daily schedules. The morning session is from 6 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The afternoon session is from 12:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm the afternoon schedule. So on Monday at 6:30 p.m., our teacher let us walk home earlier because it was the first day of school and none of the subject teachers were there yet. I was standing by the school gates waiting for the traffic to die down. So many students were crossing the street. Then I noticed a man, I'm assuming in his 40s, standing behind me, staring at me. He complimented me by telling me that I smelled really good. I thanked him for the compliment and just proceeded to look at the street, preparing to cross. After I crossed the street, I realized it was possible that the man was following me, but I didn't see him. Until suddenly, my gut feeling told me something was wrong with this man. I stopped walking, and as expected, he stopped walking too. I then asked him, in our language, "Why are you following me?" He answered,
"You look really nice, apart from smelling good."
I then attempted to run away from him, but he managed to catch me. He grabbed me by the neck and shoulders. I hit him in the waist with my left elbow and spat at him. The man tried to strangle me, but I hit him in the crotch, giving me enough time to escape. Thankfully, I saw 3 of my friends walking in a group. I tagged along with them until I turned down the street that led to my house. The worst thing was seeing how dirty his hands were. My favorite white shirt I was wearing at the time got stained by his dirty hands. I got home safe and took a shower immediately because the man smelled really bad and got his stench on me when he touched me. Yuck. I'm not sure if he will come back since this just happened a few days ago. The scariest part is, there's been a rise in kidnappings and missing persons reports recently in my province.